But one thing that doesn't change is how you see how your perspective is on anything that happens in your life, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be a financial burden, whether it be a loss of a loved one, whatever it may be, that it's obviously life changing. It's how we look at it that matters, and then right, everything that we come through in life and how we encounter things in life is how we look at it. I think as we get older, hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back, and we want to share a message here today. Uh, wasn't gonna post anymore, but I wanted to just share a quick thought on. Let me see, I can bring this up a little bit too back on just how much do we actually um, understand about each other, right? And I think right now all these things that are happening are really giving us perspective on how life is kind of letting us know that when you think you had life under control, think twice, right? Everything can flip upside down, as I say, at any given moment. And enjoying the best what you have around you and doing the best you can with that is probably the most you can do, right? Because we don't know what tomorrow holds or a month or a year from now. I don't think anybody predicted this happening, and yet a lot of us are already making plans on what we're gonna do and how we're gonna get through this. Obviously, it's a day by day situation, and I'm not gonna lie. I still have my habits that I love doing, and I can't do them as much, or not as much, but at all, because of these. Obviously, we have these quarantine guidelines we gotta follow, and a lot of things are definitely missed. But one thing that doesn't change is how you see how your perspective is on anything that happens in your life, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be a financial burden, whether it be a loss of a loved one, whatever it may be, that it's obviously life changing. It's how we look at it that matters, and then right, everything that we come through in life and how we encounter things in life is how we look at it. I think as we get older, I feel like you kind of understand it as I don't think there's one life changing event. I think there's a series of events where we kind of start learning, you know, um, becoming more aware of what's happening, and maybe seeing the repeated happenings or occasions that things have happened in a certain way, and you kind of learn that what you need to take away from that, and understanding that I think we're a lot more bigger than any problems that happen to us, right? We're a lot more bigger than anything we think, right? And I think that's one of the hardest things to believe, that we're bigger than any problem that we face. And having that mindset will help a lot of us, all of us, really encounter these times. And the reason I'm making the video is because I know I'm making a lot of videos on like how to kind of change your mindset, how to be more understanding of others, and how things kind of happen, uh, for us as opposed to against us. But at the same time, be realistically, it sucks, right? It hurts. It's a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of agony. But I think that looking at the understanding that there's a light in the tunnel, as that famous quote, a famous saying, everybody says it. It's a very, very, I would say, underrated saying, because it gives us hope. It gives us hope. It gives us belief, faith that um, everything's gonna be okay. And I was listening today to that show by the I forgot the name of the show, but it's by the guy from The Office, John Krasinski, I think his name is. Well, he has a show on YouTube, and he had Oprah and all these individuals on there that are very famous and very influential, and they were giving advice to young kids. And I think our young kid is always inside of us, um, and you always kind of, I feel like there's always those moments where you hear certain things or you read certain things and it kind of hits you different, right? Everything hits people differently depending on what are they looking for, right? It's like you go into a supermarket, there's a bunch of things around you, but when you go into the supermarket for that one thing, you tend to forget what you walked by, what you saw, and nothing really grabs your attention unless you're looking for it. And that's how I look at life. I think sometimes we focus on certain things and we kind of bypass things that we might have wanted or liked, but we kind of just we weren't focused on that. We focus on one thing and one thing only. And I think there's certain times you read books or you read, you hear somebody giving advice, and sometimes some things, stay with you. And Oprah was telling one of her students that although times are tough and you think that you've gone through something really traumatic and things have happened to you, oftentimes those are the times where it's kind of pushing us for the better. And the only thing that can happen from there is get better, and things will just be on your side. So perspective matters. So basically, the story is perspective matters, right? We look at this as another tragedy, another loss, another failure, as opposed to another redirection, a lesson learned here. What's next for me to learn, and understanding that it's a journey, and that everything here is just already, if you believe in that, everything that happened had to happen. And that's from one of my books that I'm reading right now. I think with that belief, you kind of are a little more at ease, less anxiety, less stress, because as long as you're showing up every day with your authentic self, obviously, and for me, I feel that being that the reason why somebody smiles, for me, that's a big thing, or being the light in somebody's life, whether it be encouragement, appreciation, um, just I would say just acknowledgement. A lot of us will love acknowledgement, and others might care for it, others might not, but I would want to be that, um, and I always try to think of when I was in that position or when I was in that place. Um, how would I, what would I have, been grateful for? How would I have been appreciative of somebody doing what I'm trying to do? So, um, being that I've had a lot of, I was working so many jobs when I was a young kid. I've been in I would say every industry of line of work, and I know how hard you work, and the pay obviously is not that great. But what really gives you satisfaction is when you get appreciation and acknowledgement from the customers, right? Not even from your bosses or your employees, because everybody's, I think, on the same path trying to just get by. But when your customers appreciate those employees or those workers, I think it goes a long way. So I know for me, whether it be the delivery guy, whether it be your server, whether it be your um, mailman, whatever it may be, some people you see every day, or people that bring stuff to you, or they provide a service. Having that acknowledgement of how much you appreciate them, I think, as a human race, we kind of forget that. I'm seeing that a lot more now with what's going on right now. We're appreciating all kinds of trades, all kinds of line of work. Something that wasn't really there, I think, before this, and maybe this pandemic tragedy might be something that awakens a lot of us that forgot about those individuals that go out there and really keep our society moving. Keep our habits going, keep our daily lives going. Um, and those are the most unseen, I think, individuals. And acknowledgement goes a long way. Today is Teacher Appreciation Day, and this is the reason why I kind of really talk about it. All the teachers out there, my daughter's teachers, if you hear this, I appreciate everything you do. All teachers out there as well. I think the job is a lot more undervalued than we think, especially those that are homeschooling now are feeling the pressure, especially me. uh, how difficult it can be to teach an individual or a young kid, um, at any age, and which knowing that they have their own needs and own, I would say, um, styles of learning, and the individual has to learn that on the go. That's a gift. As a parent, I still don't know how to find out what my kid loves and what it doesn't, what she doesn't, but I try to go with it as much as I can. But definitely, time where I'm appreciating teachers a lot more. I've always appreciated them. I'm not saying I didn't, but until you're in, say, in the stove and burning, you don't feel the need to understand why teachers um, are so important. And I hope that everybody here understands that and follows that and appreciates them. And everybody that's not out of work, I think we are much bigger than what we think. And let's start with appreciation. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.